Hello friends, welcome to today's daily devotion. We're continuing to look at the theology of the body and focusing specifically this week on the idea of singleness as a gift from God. Today we're reading from 1 Corinthians chapter 7 again. Now we've skipped down to verses 32 through 38. Hear now these words. I would like you to be free from concern, Paul writes. An unmarried man is concerned about the Lord's affairs, how he can please the Lord. But a married man is concerned about the affairs of this world, how he can please his wife. And his interests are divided. An unmarried woman or virgin is concerned about the Lord's affairs. Her aim is to be devoted to the Lord in both body and spirit. But a married woman is concerned about the affairs of this world, how she can please her husband. I'm saying this for your own good, not to restrict you, but that you may live in a right way in undivided devotion to the Lord. If anyone is worried that he might not be acting honorably towards the virgin he is engaged to, and if his passions are too strong and he feels that he ought to marry, he should do as he wants. He is not sinning. They should get married. But the man who has settled the matter in his own mind, who is under no compulsion but has control over his own will, and who has made up his mind not to marry the virgin, this man has also done the right thing. So then, he who marries the virgin does right, but he who does not marry her does better. Here the Apostle Paul is trying to give deeper explanations from a practical standpoint of what he said earlier in this chapter and what we explored yesterday as singleness is a gift from God. And he says even more so, in this gift you get to exercise something which is a full devotion on the Lord's affairs when you are single. Now, I can understand what Paul is talking about because when I got married, I was not intending to be in pastoral ministry. Even though God had called me when I was 4 years old, I had been running from that call, trying to ignore and downplay that call. And when I got married, I had no desire to be a pastor. But after being married for a little over a decade, I realized I couldn't stop running, or I had to stop running from that call. I couldn't keep doing what I had been doing. And before I could pursue pastoral ministry, I had to go back and consult with my wife and find out, what does she think about this? And I am thankful to God that she was willing to go alongside me in this career change, in this life change where I was able to go forward in the affairs of the Lord, but I still have my wife and my family to consider as I respond to the Lord. I have a friend who is single and she has never been married, and she has always been able to be fully active and engaged in doing ministry for the Lord. And she is excited in her singleness. She's never seen that to be a detriment or a hole in her life. And so I've seen what Paul is talking about in reality, that there is a way for us to be married and honoring the Lord. There's a way for us to be unmarried and honoring the Lord, and both vocations are just as valid in the kingdom of God. And so let's not get ourselves all caught up in wishing if we're married that we were single, or wishing if we were single that we were married. God has room for us all. And I'll see you tomorrow for another daily devotion.